building that relationship with the families and with the teens, and really getting them there, letting them feel accountable, you know. And then even to the even to the families, and even to the parents, you know. A lot of times, like Josh talked about, you know, this isn't always top priority for the parents. So, you know, we're kind of that force in the family to say, hey, you know, I'm really looking forward to seeing your daughter there next Sunday. Then they'll be like, oh, yeah, she'll be there. You know, don't worry about that. I'll get that covered. So, all right. Okay, so game time. 3 major movements is the environment, which, as I kind of, sorry, I keep standing in your way. The environment, which is the setup, and like I said, it can be really involved, but it doesn't have to be. Sometimes it really does help with the mood of whatever the night or the morning is we're talking about, but oftentimes it's just a tough thing to really get accomplished. So that's where the adult volunteer groups are going to come in and make that decision. Well, what do we really need to do? What's going to be really effective for the teens to know? Is this something that's necessary? If not, maybe we can scale it down a little bit. I know in the past we've done a huge setup. We tried to do a catacombs teaching, and it was really awesome because we drink black plastic, like, this wasn't a disparaging, sorry, but we drink like black plastic everywhere, and then they came down the stairs, and they felt like they were in these caves, you know, and we had candles, and it was dark, and it was kind of like, it was really neat. The kids really liked it, and the entire mood of the night was kind of like somber. We were just talking and teaching, and it was really neat. The kids loved it. But other times, in the past, we tried to do the Horton Hears a Who too, or the Horton Hears a Who as well, in the past in my old parish, and that's great, but the setup involved in making like giant blades of grass didn't really have that much, making the kids feel small, you know, the like really big mushrooms, really big blades of grass, and really big flowers, a lot of paper, a lot of cutting, didn't really affect the teens.
Yeah, that's right.
In that, you know, they're like, this looks cool, but all right, you know, it didn't have that much of an effect on them or the night or the environment. So that's where it comes down to us to really figure out what's going to have an impact on the kids, what's going to make them really, you know, get that mood out of it.
Different types of music help.
Music is great, yes. Music is, I mean, it's really all about, I believe, the 5 senses. If you can have music going, if you can have some kind of candles lit, you know, depending on the environment that you want to set up. So each night is going to have its own environment, and that's all that goes into it. Hospitality, just like you're talking about, that's where we want to really get the kids feeling welcome. We want to be like, oh, I'm so glad to see you this week. Oh, you know, you want to call them out, and you want to let them know that you're happy they're there. You want to make them feel important for being there, like they didn't waste their time by coming. So they feel worthwhile, they feel happy, they feel welcomed. And community building. That's all involved in the gather. That's where the icebreakers are going to end up also. Can I help you?
You still need the coffee on the other side?
Does anybody want coffee still?
Yeah, we might as well fill up.
If you want to keep it on, we'll go and take care of it. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so the community building is often where the icebreakers are going to come in as well. That's where the kids are going to get to stand up and, you know, do something, maybe play a game. You know, oftentimes there's teams involved, and the kids have to work together to accomplish something, and that all relates very well to what the theme of the night is. And Life Team does a really great job of that. I mean, sometimes the kids will be like, why are we playing this random game? And at the end they're like, oh, I get it. Like, it all made sense. It all comes together. And so Life Team really does do a great job of really incorporating all these fun things and fun ideas into the, you know, the main topic of whatever is being studied.
I'm sorry, I forgot to give you the handouts for all these PowerPoints.
Oh, great.
Pass it around.
Here we go, environment. Yes, music, just like you mentioned, music's very important. You can have someone playing music, you can have it live, or you can have recordings, you can have the gathering, or the praise and worship music. You can have that playing in the background, the sets and the backdrops are great, having the lighting, if it's a really serious, you know, type of night, maybe the lighting's a little bit more dim, if it's a cheery night, you know, lots of lighting. Have everything set up, have everything set up how you're going to want it. this is all the things that's gonna go into planning and talking about the, you know, the week or two before, when you're planning it, like, okay, how are we gonna have this set up? How do we want the seating arranged? Do we want any seating? Are they gonna be playing a game at first? Are they gonna be transitioning into different areas? That's all involved in planning, at the beginning and planning the environment. You have video loops going at times, and that works well even for sometimes Ascend as well, when it's a little more prayer, a little more meditative. You can have video loops going of, you know, some nice scenery, something to meditate on, but, I mean, these are good for any, you know, in any section, basically. Audiovisual setup, banners, and then costumes. Oftentimes there are skits that the adults put on, or that we want the kids to put on as well. We want everyone involved, and so costumes isn't so far-fetched. But again, that has to do with the individual groups and whatever they decide to do and what's going to be really effective for the kids. I know we did in the past we had done it was a night, I don't even remember what the night was I'm talking about, but it had a lot to do with Little Red Riding Hood, and oh my goodness, Little Red Riding Hood had to go visit Grandma, you know, and of course it was the wolf, and so he had a big hairy type of corps leader, and he was, you know, Grandma the wolf, and it was just very interesting to see him in a bonnet, you know, with the wolf's nose, and it was, you know, they can be really fun for the kids, and they can really get the kids involved, so don't put that so far out of your reign of comfort. Yes.
And you did this at St. Olaf's?
Yes, we did this in St. Olaf's.
And
So
how many kids did you have? Roughly a youth?
roughly, for a main part of the time that I was there, we had about 25 kids.
Really?
Yeah, between 15 and 25, I'd say.
Wow.
So that number's been dwindling a little bit.
Okay.
But that, for a very large time frame, and Alan was there, he remembers, so we had a good amount of kids, so
And then, I'm sorry, I hate to keep interrupting. And obviously you've had enough then time and experience to see that this worked.
Yeah, well, I volunteered at St. Olaf for 4 years using LifeTeen, and that was the entire time that I was there volunteering.
Mhm.
LifeTeen was the program that was in use. And well, after I took over as youth coordinator, LifeTeen was the program we continued with, because you know, it's a lot about why reinvent the wheel. They put so much work
Right.
and effort and ideas, and they've got a lot of knowledge, and they really get in there, and it follows USCCB curriculum guidelines, and it's like, oh, so it's all right there. So it is really helpful. It's a really great guide to start with. So
So
go ahead.
one more question. So when you started it,
Mhm.
you obviously had kids that were in the senior high grades,
Mhm.
and they had not been growing up in a program to get to that point. How did they receive it?
I was not there when it launched.
Oh,
So
okay.
I came about, I moved to the area about a year, I believe, after it launched.
Mhm.
So I saw the, you know, after it had been there for about a year, and the older kids loved it, because this was only high school, this was only 9 through 12. So the older kids, they really did enjoy it, and they were the ones who brought their friends, and those friends from other parishes or from who didn't necessarily go to church, those are the ones who really brought in great conversation, and really got the kids talking, and that was great. It was
So-
really great to have really good conversations, because yes, some of it is, you know, some of the environment and the skits can be a little hokey,
Right, right.
but that's not the main bulk of it. This is just something to get the kids kind of laughing, kind of like, you know, it's really bringing down those walls a little bit, because everyone's going to come in with a,
Mhm.
all right, what are you going to do? What are you going to teach me? You know, I already know everything. So that's kind of just the way to be like, all right, we can have fun with this, you can have fun with it too. And that is it normally is only the first 10, 15 minutes of it. The rest of it, we get into the meat and potatoes, and I'll get into that in just a second. So it is,
Okay, so
that's
there,
just an intro.
so again, you just said senior high kids enjoyed it, and from your standpoint, there were enough there that didn't grow up in this program for years and years and years and had something to look forward to. It
Right.
was something that was a fairly new concept to them,
Mhm.
and this concept was appealing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, in my last parish, I started this program, the Life Team. We had about 40 kids, and they had never had it before. And you know, you always get the standard complaints about, oh, I have to go, but a lot of them really did enjoy it and look forward to going to it. They use this at St. Elizabeth's and Bothell and Holy Family in Kirkland, and both of those
Okay.
parishes, they have about 80 to 100 kids a
Wow.
night at this, so.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know,
there
it's-
are.
but I understand some kids aren't gonna like it,
Well, of course, I mean, they're kids.
but that's why we have the other programs.
Do you use a lot of these techniques in your week that you have of the teenagers this summer?
Not
To
really.
Get them to meet each other?
A little bit, but not too much, not too much.
Okay.
I didn't, takes a lot of planning time.
Yeah, there are a lot of parishes around the archdiocese that are using Life Teen.
Okay.
Maybe not to the extent of considering themselves Life Teen parishes, but a lot of them are using Life Teen in general, kind of as Josh is doing now, and as, you know, we're doing just as a jumping off point and starting point, giving ideas to the core, because, you know, it's real easy to sit down in a group of core and say, all right, I want you to teach the kids about this, you know, and it's like, all right, where do we begin?
But I think your point of not reinventing the wheel, I mean, if these things are already prepared and already done, and we've, as a parish, have purchased them, I think we're foolish not to use them.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I definitely.
I'll be using them.
I definitely really do enjoy Life Teen because they've got so much going. They've, like Josh said, they have been around for 20 years.
Correct.
Mhm.
They've, you know, it's kind of,
Lots of lessons learned.
it's a
Right.
lot of lessons learned, and everything. I've been kind of a side note. I personally am taking courses through the Center for Ministry Development currently, and everything mentioned in these courses is like, oh, Life Teen does that. Oh, Life Teen does that. You know, it's just amazing to really see how well. I mean, all these studies about you know, youth and religion over the last, you know, decade or so, all of this, you know, and the USCB, their document Renewing the Vision, and how much Life Teen really takes that to heart and really shows that, and they express it so well in each of their life nights. They incorporate a lot into it, and they make sure that they get a nice and
Variety.
a nice variety. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Any other questions? Sorry.
No, I'm done. I'm done bogging this down.